Hello community, welcome to A Cupful with myself, Tshegetso Mwepi. Hello beautiful people, thank you so much for joining me in a new week for a new episode of A Cupful. You are officially part of this community and I hope you make yourself at home because that is exactly where you are. A Cupful's main purpose is to help young people such as you and me navigate the in-betweens of life and take care of our well-being, or as I like to say, tend to our cups and to keep pouring into them in the healthiest ways possible. All the while working on healing, growing, learning, and ultimately thriving. Life is constantly happening in many ways, and if this space can give you even a little bit of affirmation, knowledge, wisdom, the strength to keep going, whatever you need in your current season and that which you can apply in your future seasons, just ending up with a cup full of peace, happiness, contentment, wisdom, and lots of knowledge, then I think that the purpose of this podcast would be fulfilled, it would be complete. It would have done what it needed to do. I hope we're all doing well, which is definitely subjective, but in all, I hope you are doing well according to your standard of it. And if you aren't, then it's okay. You can try again tomorrow and the day after that and all the days after that day, because like I said in the last episode, it really isn't. It's not done. You're not done working on whatever you want to work on. You're not done pursuing whatever you want to pursue until you say it's done. And that's on the truth. So in this week's episode, we're immersing ourselves in the importance of being picky with what we consume, and particularly not letting trends, the internet, and the multiverse of opinions and certain belief systems that have been created over time by different people of different classes affect how we see ourselves. What we consume, whatever it is we end up choosing, will in one way or another affect how we see ourselves, of course, which is why consuming what is healthy and aligns with who we are is really important, because it ultimately will affect our well-being. So when I say that not letting trends or not letting the internet affect how we see ourselves, even though I know it in one way or another will, because you are going to look at how certain people do certain things and you're just going to be like, oh my goodness me. It might be a aha moment, or it might be a moment where the light bulb goes on for you. But when I say how we see ourselves, I'm talking about how you see yourself physically, for instance, how you see yourself financially, how you see yourself socially. It mustn't change how you see yourself and who you are and what you enjoy. You must keep enjoying the things that you enjoy, and if anything, the things that you see on the internet should either be inspirational for you, or they should, show you places where you can continue enjoying the things that you do and continue being yourself. Places, things, people that you can go and join and continue enjoying the things that you enjoy. So yeah, if you are the kind of person that enjoys being out and about, then you can find Sunday markets if that's your type of thing, or you can find restaurants if you like experiences. You can find experiences of your choice, as long as it doesn't shift or change who you are, and it doesn't affect you so much that you feel the need to get yourself into debt so that you can experience these things, then that's all good. And then you will just continue seeing yourself as you are and enjoying that and appreciating that. Living in such a social media intense time, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, there is so much available to be consumed. So many trends that pop up, so many different lifestyles to try and live or aspire to live. So much to see. And everything is at the click of a finger. Apps on our phones, being able to log in from a computer. the possibilities are endless. Oh my goodness. And the only person who can control what to choose to consume, how much of it, and really also what to do with it, is up to the person doing the consuming, which is you, which is me. Which is why it's important for us to take responsibility for ourselves and what we choose to expose ourselves to, and most importantly, not to be consumed by trends, because it just isn't real enough. And I say that on purpose because I know that trends are real, like they're real things. That's why people aspire to jump onto them. But it actually isn't real enough. And I know that there are lots of people who portray certain lifestyles or who portray certain images within these trends, but it's not real enough because it's not your life. Like what's on social media isn't your life. So as much as it is real and it's something that you can see and you can like click, you can like somebody's picture or you can like somebody's video, of them in an expensive car and going on expensive holidays, or just like living a super expensive, luxurious life, that is very, very real. But it isn't your life. And as much as those are very glitzy, nice, enjoyable things that you are seeing in an image or in a video, or that is constantly being talked about on social media, in newspaper articles, and so forth, is that what you like? Is that what you want? Is that what fits into your life in any way? Questions. So it's not real enough for you to be squeezing yourself into spaces and into things that you do not actually like or want to be part of. It might be trendy, but you're doing it not because it's something that you genuinely enjoy or that makes you happy or that you find lots of peace and comfort in, which is dangerous and can leave you feeling all sorts of empty and just endlessly hopping from one trend to another with the hope of feeling a sense of belonging and being like fitting in. Yeah. And just feeling like you are finally doing something, or like you feel like you have finally found a space that you are enjoying, even though it might not be so. So I'm not taking away from the fact that there are people that will aspire to a luxurious life, not because they saw a popular person live that, but because they just enjoy the finer things in life. You just enjoy going on nice holidays and flying business class and the sports cars, that comfortable, very luxury-filled life. There is nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with wanting it. I do think where everything goes wrong is wanting things not because we actually do want them and we do enjoy them, but wanting them because it's a trend, because everybody else enjoys it, because everybody else has it, because everybody else goes there. I've realized that we are all very much susceptible to falling into that trap. And I think people can say that at one point or another, especially if you're listening here, and I think just like if you go and ask the next person, your colleague, your friend, your partner, your mom, your siblings, anyone, they will say that, of course, I've been somebody who's been on Instagram before and said, oh my gosh, yes, that's something that I'm gonna get myself. But in a moment, you want to get yourself that thing because it looks good on everyone else, or everyone else has it, or it would just be nice to be able to say, yes, I've worn mine too, or I've been to that place too. But, and of course, that's also the reason why social media exists. And that's why it's such a good place to do marketing. That's why social media marketing is booming in this day and age. It's because it's a strategy, it's a selling point, and social media, especially using influencers, is able to do that, help businesses sell their products. And it's work for the people that are selling the product, the people that have got the campaign, the influencer. That is work for them. And of course, they're meant to sell you that thing. But that's why it's also important, before you immerse yourself in going off and buying something, to always say or ask yourself or be sure that this is something that I'm going to enjoy doing, or this is a place I'm going to enjoy going to. I know that a lot of people do like myself. I do like, seeing the luxury. I love seeing people enjoying the finer things in life. Follow a lot of Black women that are influencers and they have a certain standard of living, and I absolutely love that for them. But I'm not necessarily a person that wants to live in a high-rise building, like with no curtains. I would really like to live in a house, for instance, that is big enough for me and that has my kind of interior, not anything that is just going to be aesthetically pleasing and that I saw on somebody's channel. So look, I can appreciate that there are other people that enjoy, that luxury, and they enjoy certain things and they have a certain standard of living. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not able to remove myself. As much as I can watch what I'm watching and I can appreciate that other people are living the lives that they're living, it's because that's what they enjoy. But that doesn't mean that that's what I want. There's, on TikTok, for example, I really, really like TikTok. There's the Black girl luxury side of TikTok. And oh my goodness, those women are living. They're driving G-Wagons, Lamborghini Urus. She's got the latest YSL bag and she smells heavenly from what you can see on her, or what you can see on these women's perfume trays. And they're living their lives. They live in high-rise buildings, and she drives out to Starbucks to get a matcha coffee, and it's just the Pilates, the going to Cabo, just all of this fancy, luxurious stuff, like just living comfortably because you have money. And I appreciate it, and I love that these women are working so hard. But that's just, I don't see myself. I'm not a fan of those things. Like I don't see myself enjoying things like matcha, and I haven't tried Pilates before, so I'm not going to say I won't enjoy it. But I'm not going to aspire to be a certain way because I'm seeing other people do it. I want to enjoy the things that I want to enjoy, and I want to enjoy them fully, and I want to enjoy them deeply. And within immersing myself in the things that I enjoy, I am going to be able to have a fruitful experience. For example, I'm just really going to be able to take so many beautiful things out of those experiences. So, I just think that it's important to be very, very careful what you consume, number one, and in what you consume, be very careful not to be so consumed that you want things that you don't even like. So you see all these things and you are just going to go for them because you don't know what you like. You don't know what's your thing. You don't know where you stand with certain things. So it's obviously going to be a little bit more easier for you to be sucked in by trends and stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say is just be careful with what you consume, and also in what you're consuming. Don't let it consume you so much that you stop immersing yourself in the things that you enjoy. And just overall, the main thing that this the main topic or the main point that this episode is trying to get across is just be very picky with what you are going to let yourself see, with what you are going to like, and with what you're going to aspire to. Also, just be very careful that it doesn't make you uncomfortable, that it doesn't make you do things that you wouldn't necessarily do just to have those things or to appear to have those things. So taking a responsibility for yourself, like I said, and what you choose to expose yourself to is very much important. And you shouldn't be squeezing yourself into spaces or into things that you do not actually like, or into mindsets that you don't want to be a part of just because of it's trendy. but at the end of the day, you don't actually enjoy it. Like, you just wanna go home when you're at that place, when you're at that restaurant, or when you're at that popular groove spot. You wanna go home because you're not enjoying it, because the environment is not conducive to your well-being. So in that way, don't let yourself run empty. In that way, don't expose yourself to things that you don't want to see. There's this really very intense thing that happens on social media where people's bodies become a huge topic of conversation, specifically women's bodies. And I'm going to speak as a Black woman. There is something that happens when you are not exercising, when people see, for example, that you are not hopping onto a specific trend, or that you are not, you're just living a regular life. You're living your regular life as a regular person who is, for instance, working a 9 to 5, and you have responsibilities, and you are just trying to find a balance between work and life and being social, and then just being able to be an individual who enjoys their own time. There's something that happens where people have like a very strange expectation for regular people to want to aspire to be what people that are celebrities or that are popular and that have money to do certain things, Like, if you aren't aspiring to own a YSL bag, you aren't working hard enough. Or if you don't have a house, for example, or you don't have a car, you aren't doing enough. We live in very tough times. We are all trying very hard. The cost of living is very high, and salaries aren't going up, and it's just one thing after the other. So you're fighting to keep your mental health in a good place, which is a struggle. You are fighting to wake up every day to go to work, sometimes a job that you hate, but you have to because your responsibilities are not going to let you quit your job and figure things out, So you're a regular person living a regular life, or you're a regular hustler living a regular life, and you can't. You're trying to figure things out. You have aspirations, you have goals, you have dreams, but you're not going to force yourself to do certain things or be a certain way or just buy certain things just because someone else on social media is saying it. And that's why I'm saying it's important to really properly audit the things that we are exposing ourselves to. Block people that are coming with funny energy. Don't be tolerant of things that are not for you. If there are things that are not being conducive to your well-being and they're just putting you under necessary pressure, these conversations that people are having about the fact that if you work 15 jobs and you save 15 times, then you're going to be fine. Where are 15 jobs in South Africa? Please show me where you can find that many jobs and then still be okay to go to the gym and still be okay and live as a functional human being. No. So please, at your own pace, it is your own race. Do things that way. Social media is powerful, and sometimes I think we don't understand just how powerful it is, and that's why it's important. That's why the next point that I'm about to make is very important. The remedy to fighting the pressure of trends and social media, it is knowing who you are and being content with it. I just would really like to emphasize and highlight, I could even end this episode right here after saying this, that when you know who you are and you are okay with it, and you just more than okay that, and you love it, and you're happy with yourself, and you're happy with the fact that you love what you love and you are comfortable with it, then being picky will be a lot easier for you. Also, being picky is essential in this social media era, this very, very aggressive social media era, where there are many trends that range from fashion to the body to food to different aesthetics that people can subscribe to. The list is endless, really. It's very important to decide what you're going to consume. there are lots of different parts of Instagram. For instance, if you are a person who loves to feel motivated, then follow motivational pages. If you're a person who enjoys cooking, then follow, chefs and self-taught chefs and whatever the case may be. If you are interested in just taking better care of your body, there are lots of also just pages of regular people living their regular lives and taking care of themselves regularly, and who will be able to give you the right tips and tricks and, tell you what has helped them and what you can try that would also be affordable. There are lots of regular things, regular people, regular pages, regular spaces that you can find on Instagram for a person such as yourself who works according to a budget and who is not going to max out their credit card so that you can go and wine and dine at a place that you can't actually afford to wine and dine at. You know what I mean? So it's important to know who you are, what you like, what you see as being beneficial to you, and just enjoy that and be picky about it, and block people and block pages and block spaces out that are not going to be conducive for you and that are not going to allow you to enjoy the things that you like to enjoy. And also, I think it's important for me to also say that I'm not using the word regular because, I'm trying to be weird or because of anything else other than the fact that I just want to emphasize that enjoying the regular things that you like to enjoy is 100% okay. It is really fine if you can't afford to take an Uber Black and you prefer, or you can afford to take Uber X. Just because of your favorite influencer only ever uses Uber Black, that doesn't mean that that's something that you need to do. Look, it's great to aspire towards being financially free, being comfortable, being able to get an Uber Black when you want to, but also do it because it's an aspiration for you to be comfortable, to be financially free, to enjoy a ride in a much more fancier Uber, because if that's what you like, because it doesn't really bother you, it doesn't matter to you, but experiencing the finer things in life or the more comfortable side of life is something that you want for yourself, then that's great. I just think that we must steer clear of falling into traps that we are definitely going to struggle to get out of. I've been there. I've done it before. I've wanted things that were not necessarily in my reach yet. And because I went for them when they weren't in my reach, they put me in very difficult and uncomfortable positions financially and mentally. Because now you're doing things that you can't afford, or that you're not ready to be doing, or that are just not your thing. And you either end up not enjoying them, or you just end up being sucked back and going back over and over and over and over and over again. Not because you like them, but because it's the it thing to do. It's the it spot to be at. They are the it clothes to wear. So, know yourself. That's going to make it easier to regulate what you are going to allow in your space and what you aren't, and what you choose to become involved in and what you don't choose to become involved in. And please don't let other people's lifestyles dictate how you live your life. And of course, we are only human and will most likely desire or be envious of what people have and what they have access to. But it doesn't mean you have to act on it. It doesn't always mean that you have to act on it. You're a grown-up. You are aware of your environment. You are aware of the color you like, something as basic as the color that you like or the food that you enjoy. And just because I've seen somebody eat octopus on their YouTube, an influencer that I really like, somebody that I think is really cool, I just don't ever see myself doing that. And I like to try new things, but I cannot bring myself to sit down and say, oh my God, I'm going to enjoy this. This is like high-end cuisine. No, girl, 100% not. Again, I'm going to repeat it because I feel like it's important. You can 100% appreciate other people's success, other people's glitz, glam, how other people choose to live their life, their standard of living, and aspire to get to your own version of that place. You can 100% do that without putting yourself in a difficult position, without getting into debt so that you can have certain things, without being in a very bad mindset, without literally having your mental health hang by a thread. So yes, also, as I said earlier on, I just don't think that social media is real enough for us to be making ourselves uncomfortable and just like making life difficult for ourselves. It's not real enough for you to be squeezing yourself into a weird position. You know, your life is real. That's what the real thing is here. You are the real one here. And also very important, the people that are on social media, you don't know them like that. Like, it's great. I think it's great that there's like a level of intimacy, you know, that you can share, for example, with a Black woman who you can relate to. And she says, she's always saying in her videos or on her social media that I've worked very hard to get here. It's not easy. It was never easy for me, but I've worked, and so can you. And I think that that's amazing. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying be picky with what you expose yourself to. Find those kinds of spaces, find those kinds of pages and people and, you know, influencers, people that are on social media to follow, people that will inspire you, that you can relate to, whose stories are powerful and whose growth has been enjoyable. And it's just, you feel like it's a crutch for you. You feel like you can get to where you are trying to get to because of you are seeing them and their growth. So expose yourself to those kinds of things. But also just remember that that's their work. And sometimes they're only showing what they want to show, which would obviously be the glitz and the glam and the sometimes very unattainable lifestyle to the regular individual working a 9-to-5 job with multiple responsibilities and barely getting by financially. So that's great that they've gotten to where they are, but they're also living a different life because they can afford it, because, you know, their bank balance is working in their favor. They can pay for the holidays cash. They can pay for the houses cash. The cars are partially financed maybe, and they've put down a big deposit because, again, they can afford it and they've worked. So it's always good to look at things from different perspectives. It's always multidimensional. It's always important to say, yes, I can see this person. They've been where I am right now and they've worked very hard, and this is why they inspire me. But I'm also aware that I'm not there yet. So I'm not going to put myself in trouble or in a difficult position or in debt just so that I can get there. Like them, I will work. Like them, I will put my best foot forward and I will try my best. And I will achieve what I want to achieve, right? And like I said, it's work. Social media is work for some people, for a lot of the people whose content we are consuming. Of course, you will consume your friends' like it will just be, you'll see a friend's picture, you know, but that's a person you know. It's a different story. It's very different with people that are outside of us, outside of our reach, people we only see on social media. You know that your friend is just posting on social media because it's something they enjoy doing. It's like a digital diary for them, you know. It's not work. But for people that it is work for people who are trying to get it to be work for, who are trying to be influencers, they are curating their stuff. It's their bread and butter, or their future bread and butter. And for people whose bread and butter it already is, they are posting to get paid. Everything from a regular aesthetically pleasing edited picture of them at a fancy restaurant with a designer bag in the frame, to a campaign that they have been briefed on and need to follow instructions for. And obviously they are not going to post what doesn't sell. So 9 times out of 10, what we are seeing online from the people whose content we are consuming is their work. It is marketing. A business is trying to sell a product to a demographic that somebody already has. They are very close to perhaps people aged between 18 and 32 who live in a specific area, are of a specific race, are of a specific tax bracket. So be aware of those things. We don't live in a vacuum. We live in a world where a lot is happening all the time. And you just need to be aware so that you don't get sucked into things, and so that you can continue being yourself, and so that you can continue growing into yourself and being different versions of yourself and enjoying yourself, without putting tons and tons of pressure on you. I am 26 years old and I'm not even close to where I want to be. And I keep seeing all these 25, 26-year-olds whose videos I watch, these Black women who are doing absolutely amazing. And I just can see myself getting to a place, my own place like that, where I'm eventually doing amazing according to my standards. You know what I mean? But I enjoy seeing that. It's it's inspirational, it's motivational, and mostly, it's also not very deep. I just enjoy seeing Black women living luxuriously. It's just something I enjoy. It's not something that is deep. Like I said, I just enjoy it. I enjoy consuming that. It's a great escape from my real life, which is also why content exists, for you to kind of escape sometimes. And not in a bad way, but in a good way. I think that the escape is just like, oh my God, glitz, glam, luxury, love it. I'm picturing myself here. I'm picturing myself in that image, in that frame. I'm not picturing myself where I am right now. I'm on an island. I'm sipping on pina coladas. I am getting ready to go back to my villa that overlooks the ocean, the sea, or the river, whatever the case may be. So I think that it's good to look at things from different perspectives. So remember always that you are real and your life is real, and so are your aspirations, goals, dreams, as well as your well-being, which can easily be affected by what you see on social media, especially if you let it. And if you don't know who you are and what you like, then it will be simple for you to fall down a very dark and deep social media hole that you will most likely struggle to get out of. So remember that none of it is actually real like that. Like I said, it is real. It's real. Influencer marketing is very real. We are influenced so that we can go into a shop and buy a thing, right? And it's real and it works. But the most real thing here is you and your life and what you enjoy and what you see as good. So that's why you need to be picky about what you are going to consume. Everything you see is on the screen of your phone, right? Especially the super luxurious stuff, the Gucci's, the YSLs, the Louis, the Christian Louis Vuittons, all of that we're seeing on the screen of our phones. And it's good to see, and it's good to look at, and it's good to see yourself wearing those things. But if right now all of that stuff is not necessarily inspirational and you feel like it's just too much pressure, and you just feel like social media in general is too much pressure, just delete the apps. Delete the apps. I promise it works. It really does work. Take social media breaks also. Please don't live on your phone. That isn't real life. Don't do that to yourself. So, the people that we are seeing, don't forget also that they are people who are living their lives in their own ways. They are not perfect. They are working, and it's important to see it that way. That's their hustle. So you need to go and live your life, and remember that you must also go outside. And remember that we are all human beings trying to figure ourselves out and trying to make our way for ourselves. And it's like never perfect, you've never completely figured things out. But the thing that you can figure out is what you do enjoy, what you don't enjoy. If you don't like Twitter anymore, please deactivate your account. It has become very toxic. I'm not a big fan of it. It can be funny here and there, but don't just deactivate. And I've seen it so many times where people have said, I'm out. The space just it's not conducive to my well-being, to my peace anymore. I enjoyed it when it lasted, and it's time to move on because I'm in a different chapter of my life. And I think that's something very important that we must do all the time. Also, don't entertain trolls because they are just full-time adults who want to part-time behave like they are senseless people. Don't entertain trolls. Don't entertain people that are trying to get you to argue with them for nothing. Don't put your well-being on the line. Don't get involved in conversations that trigger you, that upset you. Be in your quiet girl era if you need to be in your quiet girl era. And I mean that please don't get involved in things that are going to pick at your mental health when you are trying to keep yourself together. Because some conversations and seeing certain things and even seeing certain people and just interacting with them is not good for you. So don't take yourself there. Don't let it get there. What would you watch? Ooh, the English is running away. Watch what you watch and double tap like on. Who you follow, and most importantly, how much time you spend on social media. Are you posting an image to get at least 1,000 likes and a flood of comments telling you how beautiful and desirable you are? Which I'm a very big advocate for, please. It's lovely to hear that those kinds of things and to be affirmed. Don't get me wrong. But it's important here to distinguish between the 2 minutes of gratification and like the really meaningful comments coming from the people that you love and care about. Or are you just enjoying feeling confident about posting a picture just because you feel confident enough to do so? Do you really like sushi, or are you more of a mogodu fan? Or do you not even like mogodu and you're more of a sushi fan? But because of there's mogodu Mondays, you just like now are gonna eat mogodu. Or is it because of your favorite influencer eats sushi, so now you must as well? And do you enjoy dressing up and having that heavy super glam makeup and just looking ravishing? Or are you doing it because it's trendy on Instagram or it's trendy on TikTok? Sometimes, if not always, you have to ask yourself, like for real, like we have to, it's important. The why and the what benefit does this have for me? The do I actually enjoy doing this? Is this who I am? Is this me? Do I actually like this, or does it completely, does it make me sick? Does it make me feel uncomfortable? Do I not want to be here? Do I want to go home? Ask yourself those questions. And when you have the answers to those questions, it's going to be a lot easier for you to be able to say, you know what? I actually don't like this. This is not something I enjoy. So, very important. Popping bottles, eating caviar, the designer clothes, the affluent suburbs, the fancy holidays, the rich aesthetic. That all comes from money, by the way, and is a lifestyle that is maintained by just that money. So please don't get yourself in debt trying really hard to be like other people when you cannot afford it. Enjoy the things you can afford and live the life that you enjoy living. And again, there's nothing wrong with aspiring towards having things and towards living a comfortable lifestyle one day and working towards that. But on the way, don't set yourself back by putting yourself in positions that are not going to be conducive, that are not going to help you get where you're trying to get to. Live according to what you have in the time that you have it, and enjoy the things that you enjoy that will not tear your pockets apart, and that won't tear your mental health apart, and that won't tear your sense of self apart. Please don't make yourself uncomfortable trying to do things that aren't you. If you see that glitzy, glamorous lifestyle being what you want, then work towards it. But with the right intention and genuine desire for it, and being savvy financially and not getting yourself into debt because you want to be acceptable to a couple of people. I love the finer things in life. I really do, like so much. In the future, I most certainly, without a doubt, excuse me. I need to end this episode because I'm struggling. Without a doubt, I want to have a very cozy, thick financial capability, like safety nets. It's like very comfortable. I want to have money that will see me travel the world, invest in properties and stocks, be able to decorate my living environment however I want to, without worrying that there won't be enough money left for me to get my wax, lashes, nails, and hair done. I want a life of comfort. And I'm very committed to working towards that. And I'm very happy to say that I enjoy consuming luxurious content. I really do. I don't want that to be high. However, I don't see that rather. I don't see myself wanting that so that I'm likable, to be able to say that I'm better than everyone else because if I have money, access, and power. No. I want all of that so that I'm comfortable and I can indulge in the things that appease my palate. Like I said, I really do like the finer things in life, and I think that they like me back. This is low-key an affirmation. But they really do be liking me back. And I'm glad that I've been able to experience or have a glimpse into seeing what it's going to be like to enjoy the finer things in life. And I'm so happy that I can envision that for myself, right? But I'm not going to put myself in difficult positions, and I'm also not going to pretend that I don't like certain things and then that I like things that aren't the things that I like. I want comfort, I want the money, but I'm not going to stop enjoying going on hikes or stop enjoying going to a market, or I'm not going to stop enjoying thrifting. No, 100% not. I'm still going to enjoy the things that I enjoy, but I'll have money to do them more frequently. I'll have money to do them however I want to. And yes, I do want a diamond bracelet one day, and a nice diamond necklace, and a beautiful diamond ring and diamond earrings. I'm definitely going to be that girl. I'm definitely going to enjoy my money and enjoy my comfort. And along the way, I already know that there are certain things that I just can't be doing and I can't be involving myself in, just because of it's there for me to consume and just because I see it. That's never a good enough excuse. So don't internalize trends. Don't want to hop onto each and every one of them. Please don't put yourself in that position. You really do control who you follow, and based on who you are and what you like, what you enjoy seeing. The very key word being enjoy. So please just don't forget that the things that you indulge in, they are definitely going to affect a lot of things like your well-being. And you're the one that's going to be, you're responsible for what you choose to see and what you don't choose to see. So please just go outside, enjoy being young, and enjoy being young according to your standards of enjoyment, according to what you can afford, according to what is good for your mental health, according to what is good for your peace and well-being. And if none of the apps work for you and they are disrupting you and they are making you uncomfortable, delete them. Most importantly, go outside and enjoy yourself, and don't be shy to try new things, okay? Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. This is the end of this episode. I am really, really grateful for the kind messages that I get, the words of affirmations. This podcast has been such a good space for me to grow and learn, and I hope that it has been for you as well. I will catch you in next week's episode, and before I say goodbye, please don't forget to give A Cupful a 5-star rating. You know you like it here. You know you like hearing my voice. You know you like the topics, so why haven't you rated it 5-star yet? Please also just add this to your favorite podcasts. Subscribe, in other words. And I really appreciate feedback. So give me any feedback that you might have. Share any thoughts in the comment section of the post, this week's episode post on Instagram. You can also share a comment on Apple Podcast and on Spotify. Oh, yes. This podcast is on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, and on Anchor. So you have a variety of places to listen from. Thank you again, and I will catch you next week. Please take good care of yourself, rest, and don't forget to keep doing the things that fill your cup up.